Hey everybody! So I don't have any tutorials per se today, but I wanted to show you all my little porch garden because I'm super happy with it right now. It looks so happy, and so I wanted to share it with y'all and talk about like where I got some of these cuttings because some of them are native, and kind of just talk through it. So let's do it. Okay, so these are my green onions. I actually bought these from the store. We go through a lot of them. So I bought like a bundle and then we went through it in a week. And so I got another bundle and went through that in a week. And so I was just cutting them down to where you can see like about where I cut them to where they're about here. And these are all like, this is all new growth. This is all new growth. These ones were the first ones I did, obviously, because they have the most new growth. And then there's some in between, like this was the second batch, and then these were the third batch. And this is only 3 batches of green onions, and now I can get like multiple uses of them. I actually broke these 2 off last night and didn't have a use for them, so they're dead. But yeah. Up here we have a tomato. This is an heirloom organic tomato that I won't know the ID of until it's grown because it was like a surprise heirloom pack of seeds that I got. And then this is another one of them that I took a cutting off of this one from and rooted it in my aquaponics center. These are mulberry trees. I don't know if they're going to make it, to be honest. I think I need to remove more leaf matter, but I don't want to remove too much and then it not grow, but it's kind of looking like that's going to be what's going to happen. We'll see if it makes it. I'll keep y'all updated. Those are mulberry as well, and I found these actually at our local park, and I took a few cuttings of it. This is my little pepper plant. I grew this one from seed in our little aquaponics center, and he has surprisingly been outside doing pretty well for the last week and a half to 2 weeks. This is a little tomato. I'm thinking it might be not growing because maybe I took off the growing point. Not sure. It's been about the same size for the last few weeks. So I'm gonna keep watering it, see what happens. Hopefully it'll grow. And if not, then I'll just replace it. We got some cilantro up here in our little milk carton reduced watering container, which I have a video on if y'all want to go check it out. We've got some purple opal basil that I got cuttings from Tarleton at my school, and I rooted them in my little aquaponics center. They're doing good. We've got some peas back here that my son planted. They're actually looking really good. I've been watering them, but don't tell him that. This is some either Texas or American persimmon, and some of these look really good. I got these yesterday, so of course they're still like in shock from being cut off their parent tree and put in soil. And I'm just going to keep those moist until they've had a chance to take some root. This is a little bean plant that was originally in one of these cups, but he got a little too big, so I moved him out. These, I'm thinking might be ash tree, but I thought they were mulberry when I took them, but I'm not so sure now, but we'll see how those do. I've heard that ash root very readily, so we'll see. These are some I got today, and these are brown turkey fig cuttings, and I got them from one of our neighbors, Jason, which was really cool. And I put them in some moist soil with some rooting hormone just about 30 minutes ago. So hopefully we'll get some growth on those in the next few weeks. If you'll notice, like some of these tips are dead, and it was because we had a late freeze and the tree had already started trying to, or the bush had already tried producing. So hopefully it can bounce back. This is another tomato. This one was grown from cuttings from that one. And then this is super awesome. This is the first time I'm noticing this. My peach trees are starting to grow some green on them. So that's so exciting. When I got these peach trees, it was actually last semester in my plant propagation class. And part of the lab was we went over to the Texas AgriLife Center that's right down the street from it. And we took a bunch of like large branch cuttings off of these peach trees that were over there so that we could learn how to graft and how to propagate from the fruit trees. So after the lab, I'm looking down and I'm seeing all these branches and these cuttings, and I'm thinking, there's hundreds of cuttings still left here and we're not going to do anything with them. And so I asked my teacher if I could take them home, and he was like, yeah. So I did, and I took all these cuttings off of the peach tree limbs, and I tried to root a bunch of them in my, it's like a camper that's on the side of our house, but it has like a lot of windows in it, so it's kind of like a little greenhouse, and I tried to overwinter them in there, and they ended up drying out. But these ones that are in these 3 pots I'm fixing to show you, I left them in a bucket with some water outside, no shelter at all, for all of winter. And I thought they were dead. And then a few weeks back, I'd say maybe a month back, I went over there and I noticed that they were putting on like new little bud type things, like the soft fuzzy white buds that shows that they're trying to do something. And I went over and I was scratching a little bit with my thumb on the bark, and it was green on the inside. And so I was like, oh my gosh, these are alive. And they've been sitting in cold water for like 3 months. It was crazy. And somehow they pulled through. And so I stuck them in some soil not too long ago, because peach trees, most fruiting plants, need that like pressure from soil, and they need the phosphorus that water can't provide. So I put them in soil, and now they're starting to grow little green leaves on them, and I'm so excited about that. So a bunch of peach trees for free, guys. That's always a plus. So it's, these are peach, these are the peach, and then these are peach. And I will say I have no idea what kind they are at all. But it'll be a surprise, and I'm super excited. I forgot to point this guy out. This is my little cilantro. Oh, I did point him out. Never mind, guys. I showed y'all. Moving on. That's another little tomato back there. That one I started from seed, so he wasn't a cutting transplant. These I got about 2 days ago. These are 2 figs that just wouldn't fit in here, so I stuck them in here. But these I got a couple days ago, and these are Mexican plums. They're wild plums here in Texas that I took cuttings of, and as you can tell, the leaves are kind of sprucing back out. They were a little sad yesterday. They had a little rooting hormone, and then the soil is like fairly wet, and it's because I'm trying to get the rooting hormone to apply to these plants, and hopefully get some roots on them before they grow too much green, because they are growing quite a bit of green. We got this little tomato plant here. Kind of made a mini milk jug spot for this guy, and then it's cool because the sides are clear, and so I can like watch the root development. Got another pepper over here. This is a surprise pepper because I can't remember which one it is. Don't laugh at me, guys. Then here we have some Mustang grape. It's wild grape that grows in our area, and I took cuttings for that yesterday. We got that cucumber from our other video about the milk jug container, and it is doing really well. Happy about that. And over here, which is having to regrow because it did dry out and die off. But I can see some green starting to form down here. So that's a good sign that the rootstock is still alive. And that is a dwarf pomegranate tree, which really isn't for eating, but its flowers are so pretty and I love them so much. So I keep it around just so I can see the blooms once a year. But yeah, that's my little porch garden, and I hope y'all got a laugh out of some of my container choices, but I mean, if it holds soil, plant in it. Anyways, thanks for joining me for this short little snippet, and I'll see you later on in the week. Bye.